Hey guys, what's up? Tony Adragna back here on my Tony's Talk YouTube channel, or whatever you may call it. I haven't really thought of a creative name for it yet, but I'm back here doing my daily videos, or my second daily video. If you missed my first one, I'm basically doing these to keep myself in front of the camera, keep myself talking, practicing my craft. I won't go into it too much, but you can always tweet me any questions you have at Tony Adragna. I'll answer them on my next show or my current show if you do it during the episode or whatnot. But basically what I'm doing, I'm going to talk sports 5 to 10 minutes. Today I actually am going to go a little bit different route with it. I asked some people on Twitter what their personal favorite sports memory is that they accomplished in sports. I got some pretty good responses. Some of them people were kind of making fun of themselves a little bit and whatnot, but the responses were pretty good, and so I'll read some of those off that I got on Twitter. Personally, I played sports my entire life. I think 2nd through 6th grade or so I played football, or through 7th grade I played football. I played basketball all the way through my senior year of high school. I ran cross country. I played a little bit of soccer. I basically did it all, and I had a blast doing it all. My favorite sport was definitely basketball. I have so many memories from basketball. In fact, my buddy Ben Jones tweeted at me when I asked for the personal accomplishments. He said, "We have too many together," and he's right. I played a lot of sports with Ben, especially football and basketball in our younger years, and I've had so much fun playing basketball, and to narrow it down to my one or two I could never do, but I do have a few just personal favorite moments and memories that have always kind of stuck with me. My first being just my entire freshman basketball season. When we were younger, my class of basketball at Southport, we were class of '09. We were always, the class in front of us was always very good, and don't get me wrong, they were good, but they were highly touted, and the class below us was always highly touted, and we were kind of just tweeners. We were in the middle. Coaches didn't really know what to expect from us. We didn't really have a star player. We all just kind of knew the game, played well together, and then so none of us got moved up to JV, although the summer before our freshman year, we actually played in a JV league at a local sports park or sports complex, and we actually won the JV league as freshmen. In fact, beating our own actual JV team from our school. And then our freshman season, we went 17-2. We lost our first game of the year and our last game of the year. Both were to Ben Davis High School, and so I thought that was pretty cool. The fact that we were kind of, I want to say looked down upon, but coaches just didn't really know what to expect from our class, and we really turned out to be something pretty good, and they started finding that out our freshman year, and we had a blast. I mean, that season was so much fun. We beat Lawrence North, where Greg Oden and Mike Conley went, and beat so many good schools, beat Bloomington, a great Bloomington South team that was undefeated, like I want to say like 60 straight games or something they hadn't lost in their freshman season. We came back from a 20-point deficit and beat them, and that was really cool. And then my junior year of high school, I played varsity, but I wasn't. I was 6th, 7th man, first or second off the bench usually. Definitely a pass first point guard. We had a point guard that ended up playing D1 in Corey Wickware. That was a year older than me. So my junior year, I finally got to play varsity full time, and like I said, I was sparingly used. Actually, I got moved down to JV to play 2 quarters because I wasn't really getting the playing time they thought I'd get in varsity for 2 games. And then we played Warren Central, who was 4th in the state. The game was televised. One of our guys had a nagging injury, so they decided, all right, Tony, you're not playing JV today. And that ended up being a great game for me for when it was on TV. I played really well. I didn't miss a shot. I only had like 9 or 10 points, but that was a lot for me. I came into the game. In fact, when I came into the game, the announcer said, Tony Adragna's checking in, averaging just under a point per game. I mean, that's how little I shot. And I came in there, scored 9, 10 points. I guarded Jaron Forte, and he guarded me. I played almost the entire game. Um, Played next to flawless for my game, and we ended up beating Warren Central, who I said number 4, I think, but I think they were number 6. We beat them by 1, and we got in the locker room. And at Southport, every time you won, the coaches would all get together and decide who got to draw a W on the dry erase board. You draw a W and you leave it there till the next game, and then you'd erase it right before the next game. To remind you that you won, and so they'd pick somebody to do that W, and I got to draw that W, and that was pretty special because that was our biggest upset of the year. It was on TV, and I got to put the W up, kind of saying I was the most valuable player of that game, I guess, and that was really awesome. And then another one was my senior year. Going into my senior year, like I said, my class was never really seen as great. We just had a lot of guys that knew how to play, and we lost 5 seniors from the year before. So, and only returned 1 starter. We weren't looked at. They didn't think we were going to be that good. So we went into the summer. We worked hard. There were 7 of us seniors. And that summer we played really well. We beat a lot of good teams, and then we went to Indiana University basketball camp, team camp, where it's one of the best team camps in the entire Midwest. I mean, it had likes of Carmel and Warren Central and teams from Peoria, Illinois, and all the way out to Arizona, where Matt Carlino, who plays at BYU right now, was committed to IU at the time, and he was playing. And we went to that tournament, and we played Decatur Central, who was one of the best teams in the entire state at that point. Most of their guys had played varsity since their sophomore year, and they were really good. And in the third quarter, we had gotten down by about 20, and this was the quarterfinals of the tournament. We had not lost yet in the team camp or the tournament, obviously, and came to the bench, and coach called timeout after we got down about 20 and said, "Hey, this is why they're top 10 in the state and we're not. They're tougher than us." Coach knew what he was doing. He's trying to light a fire under us, and he did. And we put on a half-court trap, I remember, on the hyper courts for those of you that have played at IU. And we put on that half-court trap. We came roaring back. I had one of the best games I've ever played in my life. I was hitting a lot of three-pointers. I remember I had a big and one, but we were still down 2, 10 seconds left. One of our guys drove on the wing, and he put up a shot with 3 seconds left. It was Alex Creasy. He missed it pretty bad, but Sean Gibson, who was also on my team, was a fellow senior, basically tackled 3 Decatur Central kids and headbutted the ball out to me, and I was out at the volleyball line. I just chucked it and prayed. I ended up banking it in at the buzzer, and we won by 1. Moved on to the semifinals where we beat Matt Carlino's team. So we made it all the way to the finals of the Indiana University team camp. That was one of the best team camps in the Midwest. And we actually lost on a last-second shot in the finals to Bowman Academy, but we had a blast, and that was really where we solidified ourselves that we were going to be pretty good as a senior class, and we were good. We were pretty good as a senior class. We ended up going 11-10, underachieved a little bit in my eyes during the actual season. But what I am proud of is the fact that since 1994-95, Southport High School has had 2 winning basketball seasons, and those 2 winning seasons were my class's junior and my class's senior year. And that's something that I think is pretty cool, just because, like I said, our class was never seen as, I mean, I don't want to say that we were dogged, because we weren't. I mean, our coaches supported us and they worked hard with us, but they just never really knew what to expect from us. And the fact that, I mean, nobody really realizes, I don't think, but our junior and senior year are the only winning seasons Southport's had in the last 20 years. Now, I do think that's going to turn around. Southport has a good program right now. Coach Simpson's really doing a lot of good work over there, but for right now, 2 winning seasons in 20 years, and my class was a part of both of those, so I'm pretty excited about that. But those are kind of my favorite personal accomplishments. Like I said, I could go on for hours and hours and hours of just how much fun I had playing sports, as a youngster and whatnot. But that would probably bore you. But I do want to read some tweets from people that what their some of their favorite memories were personally. We'll just start. Dr. Galen Clavio said, I once scored a goal at the Indiana soccer camp. I think that may have been my only highlight ever. Galen Clavio, if you don't know him, you should follow him on Twitter at Dr. GC. He's one of the best, sports announcers. I've called some games with him. He was in the industry. He's one of the leading examples that you don't have to play sports to know how to talk about them and call them. Obviously, if he said his only highlight ever was scoring a goal at a IU soccer camp, but nonetheless, that was his favorite personal memory. Cameron Rhodes at Rhodes33cc says his favorite memories are meeting people that have become friends for life, like myself and others. Cameron played basketball at Mooresville High School, but we were on the same AAU team, Team Indiana, in 5th and 6th grade, and we met there. And have stayed friends forever. We still hang out from time to time, see him. Always good to see him. And that's a guy that went to a different school. We weren't in the same conference or anything, but we happened to play together when we were younger, and we stayed friends for life. So I totally agree with that. Those are one of my favorite memories as well. Sean Dunham at Shawnee D Mode says his favorite personal achievement was his unassisted triple play that he had, and that's pretty awesome. If you can pull that off. That's not too bad. I'm not sure what league Sean did that in, if he did in high school or little league or whatnot, but nonetheless, it's pretty cool. Ryan Cost at tweets from Ryan K says winning his rec leagues tournament when he lost every regular season game, and that's pretty hard to do. If you lose every regular season game, you're probably not going to be looked at too highly in the tournament. But hey, if you can win the tournament, that's pretty cool. So yeah, that's definitely a great memory. Josh Bowles at Hoosier43 says winning his 8th grade city title in basketball. He went undefeated and he beat future Purdue player John Hart. If you don't know John Hart, he obviously played at Purdue and IUPUI. So Josh's team went undefeated and beat him. Definitely a great personal achievement, and probably had a lot of fun doing that. Brandon Bender says he got kicked out of nearly every sport he played because of his temper and antics. And Brandon is now a referee, or was at IU. So he's probably calmed that down a bit. Probably realizes, that temper and antics can be annoying, because I've refereed as well, and it can get old real fast when people complain. And I know I complain half the time when I play, so I try to tone that down. So it looks like Brandon struggled a bit to tone down his temper and antics when he played back when he was younger, but I'm sure he's got that shored up by now. Andy Brunner, this is one of my favorites, at Notorious AJB, excuse me. He says that he once had 5 hit by pitches in one high school baseball game, and on the 5th one, he was called back to the plate because he didn't get out of the way in time, and then he was hit again. So he actually got hit 6 times, which I don't even know how that happens. Like, that's tough to do. I don't know if that's exactly a perfect achievement, but hey, I'm sure Andy had some good times playing high school baseball. I know he was a pretty good player, and now coaching, so that's pretty funny. Jared Knowles says his favorite was his 5th grade sportsmanship award for males at Homecroft. Winning a sportsmanship award is always pretty cool. I won a sportsmanship award my junior year of high school. I don't know how. Like I said, sometimes I got chirpy with the refs and some players, but hey, nonetheless, I was voted the sportsmanship award. And last but not least, Ryan Russell at RyRuss14. I think he's taking a little shot at me here. He said, I'm just kidding. He said that his favorite memory was he went 7 for 7 from downtown his freshman year at Southport. Hey, that's not too bad. I went to Southport, like I said. Ryan went to Roncalli. We were kind of rivals, but not really. Roncalli is the Catholic school on the south side of town, right down the street from Southport. Ryan was a year younger, so he didn't do that 7 for 7 on me personally, but hey, that's not a bad accomplishment at all. So those are the accomplishments people sent me. This video actually is longer than I intended on these videos being, so don't plan on all of these being 15 minutes, because I know people don't want to watch 15 minutes of my face. I'm perfectly okay with that, and I don't blame you a bit. So sorry this ran a little bit late or longer, but it was a fun one to do. Like I said, I like chatting about sports, but I like to do every once in a while. I want to do something a little different like this as well, and kind of talk about sports, but veer off topic a little bit from just mainstream stuff. So if you got any ideas, certainly tweet them at me at Tony Adragna. Once again, I thank you so much for watching. I'm going to try to do these daily, like I said, and I'm pretty excited to keep myself in front of the camera. These will be on my blog at tadragna.com if you ever missed one and for some reason want to see what I had to say. But like I said, thanks so much for watching. I'm Tony Adragna. Have a great night.